Not having any plays, this is going to be a little different tonight, so we'll see.
Okay.
Cards raw to graded, turning bucks into gold. PSA on the rise, watch the stories unfold. From the commons to the legends, we see it all clear. Shocks and Bodini, we're pioneers here. Turn your collection into something so grand. Invest with confidence, we'll guide your hand. From rookies to Hall of Famers, we'll analyze every play. In this bustling marketplace, we'll show you the way. Cardboard rock stars, making dreams come alive. Buying, flipping, turning profits, yeah, we thrive. No subscriptions and fees, just a sheer delight. Tune in to our show and get your game right. Feel the adrenaline, riding those highs. With Chalks and Bodini, watch your averages rise. Every card's a piece of art, vision and style. Join our family, stick around for a while. Learn which cards to snag, decide which ones to sell. In this vibrant industry, we're ringing the bell.
All right. Well, that was intense, huh? Hey,
Yeah.
Joe, welcome in. Hey, Terry, welcome in.
Reminds me of when I was a teenager out at the amphitheater.
Yeah, our for those of you listening and watching, loyal listeners, our song is about 7 minutes long. Our entry song, we just usually play like the first minute. So today I started it where we normally leave off. Thought we'd finish out the 2025 with a little bit heavier
Yeah.
theme song there.
We got the guitar solo in.
Yeah, we got the screaming and the guitar solo. So anyways, kind of a surprise pop-up. We didn't advertise or let anybody know we were doing this. We just decided that we would do it. And normally we've been at noon on Wednesdays. And here we are at 6 o'clock on New Year's Eve, deciding to do a year in review. If you saw the thumbnail on YouTube, it's year in review as well as PSA hates you. That is the clickbait title. So I think what we're going to start with is we're going to start with me talking about PSA and why they hate us. So I've got a little something here prepared to show why, to prove why PSA hates us. And when I say hates us, I mean, I'm talking about trading card collectors is what I'm talking about, not TCG. They love TCG people. They hate us. And here's why. So little story. We're going to roll this back. We're going to flash back to a year or so ago. So coming into 2025, life was good. Grading was good. PSA was having turnarounds at 30 to 45 days. Making money was easy because PSA was you could do your turns rapid. At the beginning of the year, I talked about speed kills and how my theory going into 2025 was going to be rapid pace, and told everybody how they were going to make more money if they could turn stuff faster. And then PSA kicked us all square in the nuts. So in December of 2024, PSA had $18.99 for bulk orders for trading cards and $14.99 for TCG. In January of last year, or of this year, 2025, they decided that they were going to give us a little hike, and they spiked bulk, if you remember, from $18.99 to $19.99 on trading cards, and they took TCG from $14.99 to $16.99. So they bumped it $2 and only trading cards $1, and that made sense because if you look at this, it was about a 50-50 split. PSA was grading about $1.2 million, 1, 2, 1, 3, right around there every month for cards. And it was split 620,000 to 600,000 trading cards to TCG cards. Now let's fast forward a little bit later in the year. They start getting backed up, right? By spring, no longer are the orders coming back in 4 to 6 weeks. Now it's taking 6 to 8 weeks, but it's still not bad. GameStop orders are still taking 4 weeks. We had a little trick we talked about that if you put a higher grade level in the same submission, that they open the box up and your other orders go faster. And I was still averaging about 8-week turnaround times all the way through to this fall. So fast forward to fall and PSA says, we hate you even more, you rotten sports card people. And I'm going to show you why. So we're going to remove this. And now we're going to show you a couple of series here. So if I go and I share my screen now, window. All right. So now we're going to go. Let's go. When did they change it? So we'll go August.
I think it was September.
Yeah, so we're going to go August just to give you a precursor because it was September. So here we are now in August, okay, 5 months after they've changed the grades, things are slowing down. And look at this TCG just taking off. They're up to 1.6 million sports cards a month. Notice the sports cards have stayed pretty consistent. I can pull up month after month. Most of you have seen this if you watched our channel. We've talked about gem rates every month. Sports cards were pretty consistent over the year, right between 600 and 660 is one of the higher months. I think 680 was the highest month. 600,000 to 700,000 sports cards on any given month. TCG started the year at 600,000, and they steadily grew and grew and grew in this phenomenon that was Pokemon. It just exploded, right? So here we are now in August, right before they kick us sports card guys even more in the nuts. And they're like, oh, well, this makes a lot of sense. So TCG is 1 million cards. PSA is 600. We're backlogged now. We're taking 10 to 12 weeks instead of 6 to 8 weeks. We're double the time it was taking that in the spring or in January last winter. We're now twice the turnaround times. From 4 to 6 weeks, we're now 8 to 12 weeks turnaround times. And it's because of TCG. Sports cards holding pretty steady. TCG is up about 500,000 cards a month. So what does PSA do to thank us sports card guys that have made PSA what they are today? We have supported them for 20 years. We've made them the top company in the world because of what we do and how we promote them. How do they thank the sports card people of the world? They say, open wider. We're now kicking you in the balls with a steel-toed shoe. Okay. Thank you very much, PSA. We're going to slow your turnaround times down even more. And for thank you for playing, we're going to raise your bulk grading from $19.99 to $21.99. We're going to charge you $2 a card more. And we're going to make your turnaround times now 95 business days. So at the beginning of the year, we were getting our cards back in a month and a half. Now they're going to charge us $3 a card more than they were a year ago. And they're going to slow us down to a 5-month turnaround. But wait, they didn't do this for the Pokemon and the stupid trading card games. No, the TCG games, what do they do for them? They leave the bulk where it's at. They didn't raise them. They're at $18.99 a card. So now let's fast forward. Thank you, PSA. Let's get rid of this, and we're going to bring up
There's no specials either. I know you're probably going to talk about
No,
that.
there's no specials because they don't care about us.
Yeah.
They do not care about trading card people, and I'm proving it in this video. So now we're going to go and we're going to look at November's numbers, okay? So here we are looking at November's numbers. We're at 1.5 million and 600,000. So they're up to 1.7 million cards a month. And how do they do it? What do they thank us? They leave TCG alone. They've got a backlog problem. They're talking about they don't know how to get it back down to 6 to 8 weeks. Ryan Hoge says their goal is 60 days or less. That's their goal, right? Well, you can't be that stupid, Ryan Hoge and PSA. Freaking listen to my channel and I can fix all your damn problems. Here's what you do. Take the people that are sending in twice as many damn cards and raise their freaking prices. Put those at $22.99 a card, and this 1.5 million cards probably slows down to 700,000 or 800,000. And then you can still hold steady because the trading card guys of the world, sports card guys that are dumb and stick with PSA through it all, no matter what they do to us, no matter how many times they kick us in the balls, we stick with them. And we're still doing 600,000 cards a month, every single month, no matter what they do to us, no matter what prices they set. So PSA, if you're listening, get your head out of your ass and fix the damn problem. Your problem is TCG. That is your problem. Our backlogs are because there are too many freaking Pokemon cards coming in the door. Slow that down, you can fix your problem. So, and if it's a dollars and cents thing that they're worried about, take 1 million cards and raise that $3 a piece. $3 million a month extra income. Come on, PSA, you're better than this. You are better than this. In 2026, we need to see some significant changes from PSA because they are wrecking what we're doing right now.
Show us some love, PSA.
Show us some love and fix the damn problem.
Yeah.
In this video at the end, I am going to tag Ryan Hoge. I'm going to tag PSA, and I hope somebody listens because this is ridiculous. This is an easy problem to fix. Get your head out of your ass and do what the hobby wants.
The S in their name stands for sports, right?
The Sports Card Authority. Sports Card Authority. And I get that that's where the money is at. Okay. I'm not blaming PSA for taking TCG cards. I think that's great. My son likes collecting TCG cards. I've graded I just sent in a 20 card bulk submission of TCG cards. Just yesterday, I just mailed one in. But that doesn't mean that they can't fix the problem. And raise it 3. They need to slow that train down. And the only way they're going to slow that down to fix their turnaround is to either continue to keep buying out all these other grading companies so you can add 10 more facilities and 100 more graders, which, oh, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, you're pissing people off because your grades, the gem rates, are going down every single month. People are getting worse and worse grade submissions. It's ridiculous. I'm afraid I've got one that's been sitting in QA for over a month now. And it scares the crap out of me listening to some of these other friends of mine that are getting. I had a buddy of mine that grades almost as much as I do. On the year, he's got a 55% gem rate because he knows what he's doing. He's been doing this about as long as I have. He's a very smart guy, good guy. He just got his grades just popped on one his grades were in Q&A for almost a month as well. He had a 28 or 29 card order and he didn't get a single PSA 10, not one. He's never in 20 years of grading ever not got at least 30%. I told him, I said, hey, take it in on social media like that guy with the Pokemon that created all the problems. I said, maybe they'll change it and give you a 30% gem rate because, I mean, that's wrong. The only thing we can think is they're hiring so many new graders right now that when in doubt, give it a 9. When in doubt, give it a 9. So we talked about on a previous episode that I had a friend of mine that was a grader that was trying to get in and trying to get a job and all that kind of stuff. He got a job. He told me I'm not allowed to say at what grading company, but he did get a job. I can tell you off air, but I promised him I wouldn't say on air. But he got a job, and he said the new graders are they're all scared because they get graded for what they do, and they're all afraid that they're going to give out too many gems. So when in doubt, they give it a 9. He got 98% of his order was 9s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
Especially when a guy like him or even myself that grades as much as I do, I know the difference between, a 9 and a 10. I may not be 100%, but I guarantee you I'm at least 50%. I'm not going to get 20 years of grading. I've never had a year where my gem rate was below 50%. It's never happened. But I've had a couple of orders this year that were way less than 50%. So what does that mean? Does that mean that after 20 years, I need glasses and I don't know what I'm doing anymore? Or does it mean that their standards are changing and they've got some rookies in there that don't know what they're doing? That's really what I think it comes down to.
Yeah.
All right. So that was my PSA rant. We put in the title, PSA Hates You. We had to tell people why. So if you're still with us, Bo and I are going to talk about our best and worst plays of the year. I've got my best and worst plays from using PWCC, buying already graded, putting them in the vault and flipping. I've got my best and worst plays in terms of multi-card plays. I've got my best single card grade and flip, my worst card grade and flip. And then I've also got my best crack and submit and my worst crack and submit. So I'm going to give you, 4 different bests and 4 different worsts of 2025, so you guys can hear and see how I did. And I think Bo is going to have some similar information for you with his plays as well. So why don't you kick it off, Bo, with what you want to give us something that you want to talk about here on your 2025 year in review.
Okay. I would say that the first half of the year, I did really well with Tops Now stuff, especially like all the different Cooper flags that were coming out.
Yeah.
It was just getting 85, 90% 10s and then profiting on every freaking one of them. And that worked really well the first half of the year. And then for the fall, it's not really been so hot. Like my resolution for next year is to not be so quick to buy Tops Now stuff, because I've bought like a lot of quarterbacks, like you've heard me complain about Lenora Sellers and Bryce Underwood. Now all my Mendozas sold great. I made a bunch of money off of the Mendozas. I've got more coming in, but he's really the only one for the fall. So that's kind of started out being really good, and then it kind of died down. I don't know if people are losing interest in those cards, or, I feel like I need to be more patient and just wait for the Bowman Chrome, get the first autos, maybe play with the Tops Now a little bit, but I think a lot of it I get, here's this guy, it's his first card, I'm going to go buy 20 of them. But by the time you get them and you get them graded, like Lenore Sellers, what did South Carolina win? Like 3 games the whole year? They got this guy that's supposed to be one of the top prospects in the country, and the team just sucks. I was kind of sad that he didn't enter the transfer portal. I thought he would, after losing so many games. So that was my main thing there. Another thing that I was really happy about was, and this is sort of PSA related, is when I was at the National, I met you at the National in Chicago. The last day in there, I brought like 85% of my purchases I submitted for grading there on site. And I don't know if those boxes get marked, but I had like 10s coming out the yin yang. I was like really, really good stuff, like a numbered to 50 Angel Reese Bowman First Auto that I got a sweet deal on it. It got a 10. I got this numbered to 5 Sarah Strong Auto that got a 10. I mean, it was just almost all my big stuff was a 10. That was the best grading submission that I've had all year. And so I'm like thinking, okay, this summer when I go to the National, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to drop off everything before I leave. Maybe it goes to a certain place in California where everybody's happy. I don't know,
Well, so the Nash typically so a lot of my buddies that have been in this a long time, they tell me that they have had similar instances with the Nash stuff at grading at the National. My problem is I don't ever have the patience to stand in line to turn stuff in at the National. Those lines are always so long that I've never done it. But a lot of my buddies that have done it have said the same thing, that where their grades are 20% higher gem rate on stuff submitted at the National or even at card shows in general. And their theory behind that is that at these Nationals, they're taking their top graders. So it's the experienced graders that know what they're doing versus these young kids that they're spending 8 weeks or 6 weeks or a few hours in a lab learning how to do it. And then here, go grade some cards, kid.
Well, these are the ones that I submitted were, I didn't get them back for 3 months.
No, you get them back in the same time, but they generally go back, and because they're in boxes labeled National, the theory is that they get the more experienced graders. I don't know if that's true or false, but that's what a lot of the guys feel, and that's the general consensus amongst us old card guys.
Yeah,
that have been doing it for years and years. I just never have had the time. I don't have the patience. However, I do plan on getting a hotel room for 2 nights and attending 3 days. I did get a VIP pass for myself. And then I got a couple of general admissions for my kids for one of the days this year. So we'll see. Maybe if I stay overnight, I'll have more time to go stand in a PSA line and submit. I'd really like to get some of my Mickey Mantle and my Sandy Koufax rookie cards and some of the stuff that I'm just afraid to put in the mail. I'm considering this year bringing them with me and paying the extra fee and just getting them done at the show, so I get them back while I'm at the show.
That's what I did when I had my 1915 Ty Cobb graded. There was a show in Vegas where they were doing on-site grading, and they were basically flying everything back to California from Vegas and then flying it back with the grades and stuff. They weren't doing it actually there. I don't know. In Chicago, I don't know how they do that. But.
Yeah, I don't either, but I'm just nervous with the cards I inherited from my dad. There's some could be pretty big dollar stuff. I'm sure that with today's grading standards, 30 years ago, if we'd have got them graded, they probably would have been 7s and 8s. And now today they'll get 4s and 5s because they're so much harder and different grades. But
I went in on Sunday, right when they opened, and went straight to the line. And I think it took me 25 minutes to be done. So it wasn't that bad, but I think there's other times when it could be hours.
All right. So we'll go back and forth if you've got some other things you want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about now my good and my bad and my from PWCC. So I buy every Sunday. I actually buy on the Buy It Now marketplace as well, but I watch the Sunday auctions, and I've had pretty good success with that in 2025. So a couple of good flips that I had there. I bought a Harry Ford Bowman Chrome First Auto Base PSA 10. I bought it for $120 on February 22nd. Sold it in June, on June 28th for $245. So a nice, double up for holding a card for 6 months. Went right to the vault. I'd never had the card in hand. So no sales tax, no shipping. So that was really nice. I had a Tyrese Halliburton Prism Silver last year before he got hurt. I bought it on April 12th for $174, PSA 10 silver. April 12th, $174, sold it on May 28th. So 6 weeks later, $403. Tripled my money in 6 weeks. So that was a fun play. I bought a Connor Bedard Young Guns right before the hockey season. I got a PSA 10 for $420 on August 16th. Sold it December 22nd, so 3 days before Christmas, for $885. Picked up $450 there. And then on September 6th, before the NBA season, I bought a Victor Wembanyama Prism Ice, the silver ice, not a color, just the base ice, in a PSA 10 for $336. Sold it on November 4th for $650. So those are my four best ones. Now, for a bad one, they don't all work out where I double my money. On June 7th, I bought 2 Bryce Young silver PSA 10s. The first one I paid $162. The second one $168. I got them in the same auction on the same day, $6 apart. I sold the first one, which I paid $162 for, at the beginning of August in the first preseason. On August 3rd, I sold the first one for $243, and I made about $70. Then I got feeling like, you know what? I think Bryce Young could really have a good year this year. I'm going to hold one. I think Carolina's going to make the playoffs. I'm going to hold one for playoff time. That didn't work so well, even though he started playing better. I sold one last week, also on December 22nd, for $84. So I lost $84.
Yeah.
Had I sold them both in the beginning of August, I'd have picked up $150. Instead, I tried to get cute and hold for the playoffs, and I lost $84. So that is a lesson for everybody that when you have profit, take the profit, unless you're okay with it. You know, it didn't make or break me. Losing $80, it didn't really matter. For 2025, I haven't finalized all the numbers, but my profits for 2025 flipping cards is going to be just shy of 30 grand. So about $2,500 a month I made flipping sports cards. So I'm doing okay. Don't feel bad for me for losing $80 on a Bryce Young card, but those are just some PWCC plays I wanted to talk about that were 2025 plays.
Nice.
What else you got?
I'm trying to think of anything. I can't really off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a question for you towards the end of the show that I want to ask you.
All right. So my best multi-card play of 2025. So I'm a big, if you've been following me for a few years, I came up with the idea of buying in bulk and submitting in bulk. So I used to do my plays where they were 20 card plays of the same card. And I've kind of evolved away from that a little bit, but I still try to buy the card in bulk once in a while if there's a good play. So on January 8th, I found a card shop on eBay that I've bought from before and had good success with. I bought 12 2018 Topps Fire card number 150 Shohei Ohtani in raw condition. Because I bought 12 of them, I got them shipped to me. With shipping, they averaged $45 a piece getting them to me. I spent, it was $19.99 a piece to grade them because I did a bulk grade. And on average, shipping there and back was about $4 a piece. So I had $69 in each card. I got 6 PSA 10s, 4 PSA 9s, 2 PSA 8s. The 2 PSA 8s averaged $75 a piece. The 4 PSA 9s averaged $145 a piece. And the 6 PSA 10s, I averaged $600 a piece. So when you add all that up and you take out, because they all sold on eBay, you take out the 15% eBay fees, or 14 and a half. I think I'm 13 and a half because of my subscription, whatever. I use 15%. That's $4,330. And I had $828 invested when you figure $69 a piece. So my net profit for those 12 cards was $3,680.
Nice.
So that was my best play where I did multiples of the same card. My worst multi-card play was I bought on let's see here. So I bought these on May 11th. I bought 10, and I bought them all from different. I didn't buy 10 all at once. I bought them from, I couldn't buy a lot. I couldn't find them in a multi-card lot. So I bought 10 from 10 different people just for clarification. 2024 Don Russ, the rookies, Jaden Daniels cards.
Some of those two.
So I bought 10 of them. The play looked really good on paper. I even suggested it to all of you. I know one of the listeners that follows me, his play turned out really, really well. I wasn't as lucky, but he bought his cards in person at a card show versus on eBay. I ended up with 4 PSA 10s, 4 PSA 9s, 2 PSA 8s. Not the worst, not the best, a 40% gem rate. But here's how this breaks down, and this is where it gets ugly. This was the ugliest play of the year for me. So on average with shipping, they cost me on average $17 to get the card. $20 at PSA to grade it, $4 to ship it there and back. So on average, I had $41 per card in the cards. So with 10 cards, that's $410 is what I had tied up in these 10 cards. Jaden Daniels didn't take off this year the way that I hoped he would. The PSA 10s, average price, $50. The PSA 9s, average price, $18. The PSA 8s, average price, $8.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So I ended up selling those 10 cards for $244.80. So the net was $228 after eBay fees. $410 is what I had in them. So I lost $165.20 on that 10 card play. So on average, I lost $16 a card is about what it averaged out to be. So losing $165 isn't the look I'm going for. But fortunately, that was the only play in 2025 that was a negative. Every other play I did, multi-card play I did, was positive. But I fortunately, I guess I had one negative, so I could tell you guys all about it. All right, now single card flips, where I didn't buy them in bulk. I just bought a single card, graded it, and flipped it. My best one, and it was a football play. I bought a lot of rookie ticket autos for football. I will start buying rookie ticket autos again in about 4 weeks. Usually early to mid-February is when those start dropping off a cliff. And then you can buy them all the way through March and April. Very, very inexpensive. Get them graded and have them back in time for the start of the football season. Very, very fun play to make, rookie ticket autos. They're always liquid. The 8s and 9s sell well. Rarely do you lose money on an 8 or a 9. They're just good, easy plays to make.
And they're about to vanish, right? There's not going to be any more of those.
Yes, correct. So I bought a 2023 rookie ticket auto Chase Brown paper, not the optic, just the paper. I bought it on April 6th and I paid $12. Chase Brown, who's the starting running back for the Bengals, I got it for $12 on April 6th off of eBay. So I paid $4 for shipping and I paid my sales tax because I had it shipped to me. So all told, I ended up with $17.80 in the card, getting the card to me. So $18. It was $20 to grade it. So that's $38, $4 for shipping back and forth. So I had $42 in the card. I sold the card on September 3rd, first weekend of the year. I sold the card for $150. So I netted $108 on one single play, just raw to grade.
Nice.
The other play that I made that was my worst rookie ticket auto play was I bought a 2024 Trey Benson card. I thought Trey Benson was going to have a good year. I didn't know he was going to get hurt for the Cardinals. I didn't know the Cardinals were going to stink. But I bought the card for $11. That was shipped with, I got it for $1. You know, it was the eBay standard envelope shipping. It was $11 shipped with tax. So then you add $24 for grading and shipping. So I had $35 in the card with grading. It got a PSA 8. Wah, wah, wah. And I sold the card for $25. So I ended up losing $11. That was my worst raw to grade loss for the year. Now, my best overall play for the entire year was in June. I was telling people to buy Silver Prism Victor Wembanyama PSA 10s. I ended up buying 4 of them. I paid on average $700 a piece for them. I bought them in June and July. So I had $2,800 invested in those 4 cards. I sold them. The average selling price was $1,700. So I sold them in October. So I made after taxes and fees, I made $3,200 on 4 cards.
Nice.
So that was my best